Hey, what's up? It's Jax from Plastic Action, and you're listening to the world-famous ToyPhotoCast. We are storytellers.
What's up, storytellers? Thank you so much for listening to this episode of ToyPhotoCast with Stalagmite Thrilla. I had an incredible conversation with Steph, and I cannot wait for you to listen to it. But first and foremost, I wanted to give you guys a sneak peek of the Patreon exclusive deep dive with Work More or Less and Red Dog 5. Check it out, and I'll get right back to the episode.
And we've all been there too, right? We've all been, to the point when we kind of first jumped in, it was like, oh man, I would love to be recognized in a sense, or feel like, hey, somebody likes my work enough to want to share it and post it. Yeah. So I think we all know that feeling. And so it is fun to kind of turn around and give that to others and give opportunity. I think what you're speaking to, that's kind of just my personality. I'd much rather deflect any kind of praise or, positivity, like take it, but really deflect it. So when I'm working on projects, it's us as a team working together. It's not, obviously I play a role, but that's how I look at it more as a kind of like being a team, because I can only do so much as an individual.
I can't thank you enough for these feature pages. I remember back in the day, the first Black Series feature I got was I thought I won the lottery, You just start out, and Matt, people forget Matt is just a guy he set this up from scratch like anyone else, but it has this kind of air of, it's kind of badge of honor. It's weird, it's a weird thing. It's got this kind of allure and mystique to it, getting featured on there, because a lot of us collect Black Series and we're Star Wars crazy, and it's just, I don't know, it's a go-to account. So getting on there from time to time is always a pleasure and an honor. And what's interesting about it is because he has a larger fan base, you can see potentially what your photography might get engaged with, as opposed to your smaller account. So it gives you an idea it gives you a shot in the arm, basically. You go, oh, hang on a minute. Lots and lots of people saw this, as opposed to just a few on my account, whatever, especially when you start out. It's not to be sniffed at, really. And I like the way he promotes the not so well-known accounts, and then they can grow from there. They can get bigger from that.
That is another point, is having a close-knit circle of friends on social media. Like, you can have an acquaintance. I would recommend, this is just my personal preference, but I recommend like anywhere between like 4 to 5 really close friends on social media, and then have an acquaintance, like a round of people that you would associate with every once in a while. I would say like about 20 people that you just keep in contact with, because any more than that, you're going to get overwhelmed. And you're going to feel like you're just basically always online, having to always keep up with all these people. Like, just pick people that you really connect with and that you really respect, and you want to get to know them, and just get real close to them. And don't feel bad about having to be everybody's friend. Like, there's people on the podcast that like I really connected with on an episode, and we haven't spoken since, but I don't feel bad about it, because I know if once we get the opportunity to speak again, I'm sure it'll be a great conversation. But it's not, it doesn't make me feel like I'm a terrible person because I haven't kept up with them, because I try my best to keep up with just a few amount of people, because that's really genuinely the most you can handle. I consider like 5 close friends that you really keep up with and you really try to keep in contact with. So what do you guys think about that?
I agree. I was going to say, I think that's important. I think I may have said it on the episode when we talked, Dakota, but honestly, photography and toys got me into the hobby. But what's keeping me here is the community. What's keeping me here are those relationships. And even if I wasn't shooting as much, I would still keep up with everyone, because I built such good friendships with them. And with me, obviously, with me being more of an extrovert, like I want to keep in touch with a lot of people, but it's just not physically possible. And if you are doing that, one, you're not going to have time, and two, the really core relationships, you're not going to have that amount, like that much time to invest in a smaller group if you're trying to, you know, treat everybody kind of as a equal, like little compartments that you're spending time with. So it's just one, not possible to do it, and two, it's just so much, you're going to find these people who you're going to immediately connect with outside of just, like, say, the hobby or whatever your initial interest is. And so really just investing in those, a lot of that will happen organically. But yeah, I feel the same way, because I always feel like, oh man, I haven't talked to so-and-so in a long time. But then I step back and realize, well, they haven't reached out to me either. So it's not like we don't like each other, we're trying to avoid each other. It's just, we have lives, and it's okay for me not to be their top 10 in their top 10 group of friends. It's okay. It doesn't mean it's any less of a friendship or anything like that. It's just like, our interests aren't exactly the same, or it just is what it is. And so I've had to kind of get over that just in my life, just being so extroverted. But my wife is kind of the opposite. So she's helped kind of ground me and show me the other side of things, and understand other personalities versus how I generally approach things, or the way I think. So.
And that little clip is just a bit over 5.5 minutes of an hour-and-a-half conversation that we had. I absolutely recommend it to you if you want to get deep with toy photography. It's a great way also to support the podcast. You can access all the bonus episodes for only $1 on our Patreon, and you can check it out in our links in our bio on Instagram, and also in the podcast feed as well. So let's get on with the episode, and have a great rest of your day. Stephanie Bear is a toy photographer who resides in McKinleyville, California, up at the very top, about 70 miles from Oregon. Her hobbies are photography, hiking, video games, reading, and playing with her kids. Her favorite movie is Die Hard. Her favorite book is the Han Solo trilogy. Her favorite food is coffee. And yes, she says it's a food. So we're going to go with it. Thank you so much for listening, and let's get right into this episode with Stalagmite. Hope you enjoy it. Well, here we go. 3, 2, 1. What's up, everybody? This is ToyPhotoCast with Stalagmite. Excited to have you on the show. This is going to be an exciting conversation. What is up, Steph?
Not much. Thanks for having me. Just really excited and a little bit nervous. So this is going to be fun.
I'm excited too. I'm excited to actually say that you are the first female toy photographer on this podcast. So this is an honor, and I'm excited to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, I mean, I noticed that too on the listing, so I'm pretty excited. We'll see how I can represent.
Yes, please do. Exciting. So start us off and tell everybody how long you've been doing this toy photography for.
So I went and looked back on my page because I couldn't actually remember when I started, but it was in October of 2015. So it's almost been 5 years of taking photos. I think for the last couple years has been when I really tried to utilize my camera versus like an iPhone. So I would say probably strong 2.5 years of actual toy photography. So
nice. And are you pretty regular with that? Like, do you do it like once a week, or what's your kind of schedule?
I was doing it about once a week, but I have 2 kids, so I have to have some kind of time on the weekends. So I usually schedule it now about once a month. So I've kind of cut back on when I can get out and about, because I like to do outdoor versus indoor.
Okay, cool. So when you're doing it like once a month, do you have like you're trying to get as many photos in as possible, or do you just do like 1 or 2?
I usually try to think of like at least 3 setups that I really want to take pictures of, but when I get out there, everything comes to mind. So you try to cram as much as you can in. But if I don't get everything done, like I'm going to be out later today because I did miss some shots last time.
Nice. So who's some of your biggest inspirations in toy photography?
So I really thought about it, and I've known Kylie, Captain Dangerous, for a really long time. We're actually going to go fly out and see her in April.
Awesome.
Yeah, and she's been amazing. But I was trying to think of everybody, a lot of people on the podcast I really liked, like Dan. Can't remember his handle right now, but he does the
Tiny Epic Photos?
Yes.
Yeah.
I always get everybody has Tiny in front of their name, it seems like, on the Instagram. And so I have to look him up by Dan. And so he's one of the few that I know by name. His stuff is really good. Tom Iavawatu is one of my good friends on here too. We talk about life and comics and stuff all the time. But as far as a lot more female ones, Betsaid is one of my best friends. She is amazing with editing, and she kind of tells stories with her stuff. And so I get inspired for that to try to do a little bit more with the editing process from her. But I have to say Captain Dangerous definitely has been one of the starting points. I mean, I saw her account and decided that was toy photography was for me.
That is really cool. Yeah, she's inspired so many people, and I would love to have her on the show one day. That'd be really cool.
Yeah, you should. She's great.
Nice. So going back to the beginning, let's talk about how you started. You said you started with the iPhone, and now you've kind of moved over to a full camera. How do you feel like your photos have changed since you started to now?
When I first started, looked at them, it was basically you put a figure down, you take a picture, because you're trying to figure everything out, trying to see how it looks. You don't really know about scale, and just I think I took a picture in my front yard just of an Nendoroid from someone from Animal Crossing. And now I like to try to find a location that's going to match the scale of the figure. I have a lot of natural forests up here. I live up in the redwoods, so a lot of green and a lot of there's endless possibilities for trees and natural environment. So I'd like to try a little bit harder with the camera to try to get the scale better. So it's a little more technical term for it, but I like to try to at least make the photos look realistic. So everything is supposed to be more natural in their environment than just a toy out and about. Nice.
Do you feel like you enjoy it more now than you did when you first started?
Yeah, most definitely. And it's the way I relax. I work a full-time job. I have kids, it's nice to go out on the weekend and just be able to play with your toys out in the forest. So it's pretty nice.
That is awesome. So how strict are you with your shooting process? Do you post everything that you work on, or is there sometimes you'll go out and do a shot and you'll won't like the finished product, so you'll just scrap it? Are you more interested in the process of doing toy photography as a stress reliever, or are you more focused on actually getting stuff that you can post?
It's a little 50-50. I like to have something on there because I don't post as often. And when I do, I'm usually really excited about it. But I do take quite a bit of photos that I don't end up utilizing or even editing. And they just kind of go in the trash bin for the most part. Mostly, I really like the process of going out there and being able to enjoy myself. And you're going to get 1,000 bad ones for every one good shot sometimes. So
nice. That's cool. Well, now's the part of the show we talk about your setup and your camera and the things that you use. You can go ahead and list off everything that you are using currently. That'd be great.
I have a Canon T3i Rebel, so it's an older camera. I've had it for a while, and I have just the 50mm lens, just the normal. I don't take out too much stuff because I have to pack it around the trails, so I have a pretty compact tripod every now and again. I have the remote so I can take the motion capture with water. I carry a couple of the little the Lume cubes and electrolytes. I have both because some of the times I use the bigger ones, sometimes I use the smaller ones, depending on what's going on. I do have my atmosphere that I carry now. I enjoy that stuff. I live where there's fog, but that stuff makes the best layer for outdoor photography that I've had in a long time. And then paper clips, I will tell you, save my life. So,
what do you use the paper clips for?
You can hang stuff from them. You can also use them as a makeshift stand if you don't want the stands to have to be edited out. They're just super easy, especially for smaller figures, to maneuver stuff around. And they're compact, so you don't have to have a million things of wire and have to worry about stuff.
Gotcha. That's cool. I've never actually thought about using that. So how long does it take for you to get a shot? You said that you
you kind of shoot once a month now. So how long does it take for you to get that shot that's in your head and post it, or excuse me, not post it, but how long does it take for you to get it like from thought process to execution and into posting? Is it normally like going to take a month or are you like sitting on shots thinking about them all the time and then eventually you get to them when you have time?
I definitely sit on ideas for a while and try to get the time frames to work with my schedule. But when I'm out there, I mean, I could be out there for 5 hours trying to get one shot, depending on wind and just natural environment. Last weekend, that's why I didn't get the shots that I wanted, because it was gusting through. Like, it blew my tripod over like 4 times.
Oh, wow.
So I had to like try to maneuver a way around the tripod. But if you have time, and then the weather conditions aren't right, so it could be that too. But most of the time it's me trying to figure out the perfect angle too, because you're in a natural environment. You can't just raise up the dirt, so you have to move around and figure out what angle works for the idea you have.
Nice. So what is your favorite action figure line, and why is that?
So I was listening to one of your other podcasts where you're saying that a lot of people collect multiple lines, and you kind of get disjointed on what you like and what you don't.
Mm-hmm.
I'm one of those people that likes everything. So my boyfriend, he collects like Pokemon cards and video game collectibles and stuff like that. I'm the Hot Toys collector and like the action figure person, which is kind of rare in a boy-girl relationship, is that I'm the one with the action figures. So I would say the Nendoroids are like my go-to for figures, but I really recently have been really liking the Hot Toys. They're more expensive, obviously, but they have been really more durable, at least out and about, and they have more posing potential.
Yeah, and there's so much emotion that you can evoke with a Hot Toy versus a Nendoroid. But I love Nendoroids too. I had picked up a couple just to kind of experiment, because I'd always seen people's photos and really enjoyed those figures. But I think the ones that I got was like some Marvel ones, and I ended up selling them just because like my hands are so big, like they're little joints and their little tiny arms and stuff. Like
they're a challenge.
Yeah, like they were difficult to pose for me. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to send this to someone who's going to enjoy it a lot more. So, but yeah, I could definitely see.
And they're top heavy.
They are top heavy, and like that's why you got to use that stand that comes with it, you know?
Yeah, no, I've tried a lot of things. I figured out how to like move their legs just right. I usually stand a lot of stuff without the stand because I'm not so great at editing. So you have to do everything as much as you can without having to use the Photoshop process.
How long does it take for you to get one of those Nendoroids to like stand up straight and just sit still?
That's half the battle. I will tell you what, especially when you have like, you're trying to do it on a branch and it like moves. I have a lot of scuffed Nendoroids, put it that way, falling out of trees.
Wow. Yeah. I see you shoot a lot of statues too. Are you a statue collector?
Yes. I was hoping that this was like a little bit more of a video thing so I could show you where I'm sitting. My whole living room is pretty much statues. We have a pretty decent collection. Devin and I have been together for like 9 years. So this is like a buildup of both of our collector habits.
Oh, wow.
Which can be, it's pretty crazy. But we have Sideshow Collectibles. We have First Four Figures, which does a lot of like the video game lines. So like The Legend of Zelda and stuff. We actually have a Gremlin from Gremlins 2, like actually from the movie scale, like from the shoot. So they made like a cast model of it and it sits in our living room. Yeah. So.
Did you get that the Cowboy Bebop First Four Figures? You did get the Spike Spiegel?
We have Spike and we have Jet on
man.
We also have Mugen from Samurai Champloo. That one's sweet too.
Oh my gosh. I'm jealous. I'm a big fan of both of those shows. That's really cool. That's awesome. Do you actually like shoot those, or have you tried to?
I don't try to. I'm so worried about breaking something. I broke Darunia, the First Four Figure, and so I'm not really allowed to touch him without supervision now. But the little stuff I can take outside. Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you.
No. Yeah, it's polystone. They're hard to fix.
Yeah, that would be difficult. I know, like, the only figure that is polystone that I am aware of is the Mezco Dark Seed, I think. He's polystone, but maybe it's a different type of polystone. I don't know, but yeah, that would be scary to try to pose that, or at least move around to get some good lighting and then chip it or something. That'd be heartbreaking.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. Is just the tip of his hair came off, and I was like, oh no, ruined.
Yeah, I know. So do you see yourself as an artist? Is this something that you view as your art, or is this considered your hobby? How do you kind of view this thing, and how does that affect it?
I like to think that I enjoy it for the artistic part of it. I mean, my job's pretty like spreadsheets and accounting, so this is the way I get to express myself and be more me. You know, have a day job. It's like Superman and Clark Kent. You get to wear your uniform, and then you get to go out and have fun. So I enjoy it, and so it's more like a side hobby, but I really like to think that I'm creating something unique.
That is so cool. I've never thought of it that way, kind of like a superhero alias kind of thing. That is neat. That's awesome. So do you have any moments in your journey with this thing that I consider pinch me moments that you want to give a shout out to?
I think this is going to be my pinch me moment, actually, is doing this interview, because I'm pretty excited about it. Yeah. Being kind of like, and this is kind of just the thing in toy photography in general, there's a lot of emphasis on action figures and like the superhero stuff. And it's kind of, I think that having a woman on this is actually kind of fun. It's interesting, and it's kind of a pinch me thing. And it shows people that, you know, you can be a girl and like action figures. So it's nice.
That is awesome. Wow, that is really, really cool. I think having you on the show is definitely going to give people, especially women out there that maybe are collectors, and be like, hey, maybe I should try this thing, and go out there and see if they enjoy it. That'd be really cool to see if there's anybody that got inspired to actually do toy photography just from this interview.
Yeah, I actually went down to LA and met Everything Kylo, Jesse, and then my friend Diana, who I've known forever. And she was like so excited just to go out, and we went and shot for like an hour just in some park, and it was the most fun I've ever had. And realizing that there's other people out there and you get to connect with, and this is a podcast is a great way of showing our personalities and the way we do things. So my pinch me moment.
Wow, that is so cool. I feel special. That's awesome. So where do you want to be in 10 years? What is your kind of projection? And is this something that you want to be doing still? Is this something that is going to be your focus, or where do you kind of see yourself?
I'm actually thinking about going back to school for photography to try to learn some tips and tricks, and also get some prints made up, and kind of look to do this a little bit more like, not as a hobby, but like not as a career either, just something on the side that I could do. And maybe teach some people up here. I live pretty in a remote area, so there's no other toy photographers around, but I'd like to be able to have like prints for sale and stuff in that regard. At least maybe create a little bit of a brand for myself.
That'd be awesome. Have you considered going to like a Comic-Con or like a local convention and selling your prints?
We don't have any up here. I have to drive like 5 hours south to get anywhere. Oh, wow. So it's like we've been trying to save up some money to make that happen. But kids come first. I have a 10-year-old and a 4-year-old. So it's like what they want to do. But I think they're almost old enough now they can come with me, because they're pretty into all the collecting too.
That is awesome. I live in an area where there's actually, they're starting to grow with like all of the conventions, and there's little ones and there's big ones. The biggest one for us is the Lexington Comic-Con, and over the years has kind of grown as a presence. But we have little ones that you can go to and spend like $100 and just set up a booth. But that'd be really cool. You should definitely look into that. That'd be really interesting to see. So this is the part of the podcast where we get a little deep. So what do you think the toy community, toy photography community needs to focus on, and how can we kind of make this a better place?
It's a big question. As far as myself, I think Dan has a good mindset for this, is where people need to think more about how they can better everybody. Like I think the best words for it is to be kind, to start being a little bit more aware of other surroundings and what they're saying, the internet's an awful place. So trying
Mm-hmm.
to make sure that our community is not part of that is one of the biggest things. I try to be overly positive. I've caught myself, I call it comment vomit. This is what I usually do. It's like huge comments, and I try not to, but sometimes it's necessary. I like to give people a little bit more positive feedback. They tried. They went out there, they did something they really liked to do. They took a photo. It deserves some kind of praise. So I've been trying to be more alert to the fact that I want to put that comment on there, that not just say nice, even though that's nice too, but I want to say something about their work and their productivity. And I think taking a little extra time in a time frame and world where the internet's so fast and everybody's speeding by, be kind and just take that time to like and actually look at the image and know what you're liking.
That's awesome. That's something I wanted to pick your brain about, actually, because that's something I struggle with, is finding the time to be able to like leave a thoughtful comment on everyone's post, and having this podcast is kind of broaden my connections. And so now that I've got a lot more connections, it's hard to spend a lot of time on each individual post.
Yeah.
What would you recommend, just because people, whenever they're posting, I want to leave a thoughtful comment, but would you say, like, should I go out and leave a comment on 3 or 4 people a week, or like a really good thought out comment, or should I do a different approach? What do you think?
For myself, I try to sit down, and if I'm going to like something, I want to be able to sit down and take the time with it. So like this morning, I have my cup of coffee. I'll spend some time on Instagram and look through things. And at night before I go to bed, I just want to take some dedicated time. As much as I am posting and I want that interaction, I want to be able to give it to other people too. So maybe just finding a nice 30 minutes that you can actually take time and go through Instagram. I have a lot of people that I talk to, like on DM, that I check in with. And while I'm doing that, I'll look through their feed just to see if I need to get caught up, because Instagram eats posts. So, just finding the good balance for when's a good time for you to be able to really enjoy Instagram and do the thoughtful process that you want to do.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I think if I don't schedule that time, like, I'm not going to do it, because for me, I can find other things to do. But if I schedule it and I set like a set time, I'll get around to it. But
I have an alert that's on my phone. I calendar it every now and again. It says, check your Instagram, spend 20 minutes.
Wow. I think mine's the opposite, actually, for checking Instagram. I check it too much, but I don't spend the time doing the thoughtful comments. Like, I'm checking for news. I'm checking for like different things because running different pages, it requires keeping up with things. But okay. I'm glad I got a little bit of some insight on that. I'm going to definitely take that to heart. So, do you have any regiment for keeping like a mental fitness? Is there something that you like to incorporate in your toy photography that is positive? What's your kind of views on that, and how do you kind of incorporate that into your daily life?
So I work out 3 times a week, but like for mental fitness, I just think that slowing down and having Instagram there to like look at and see posts, but also, everything's so fast nowadays. I just have to keep saying that, because it's like everything, like I can't keep up on shows. So actually dedicating some time to sit down and think about things and work through some stuff has been helping me, making sure I have that 30 minutes to myself, making sure if I need to read something, scrolling through Netflix, seeing what the new show is, and making sure I work through my queue. It's just actually checking things off a list, I think, is good for mental preparedness for things. As far as for my toy photography, I have a journal that I write down ideas in, because once you think of them, you'll never think of them again unless you actually sit down and look at them and focus. So I'll write down, I have a photography journal for that.
That's awesome. I need to get one of those.
So are you a little notebook?
Are you writing down like the actual like everything about the photo, or are you just kind of getting like a summary of what you want to do?
I'll think of something like an idea, like I have one that I'm going to set up today, but and then I'll write it out, and then I'll actually like kind of like sketch it out, like how I want things to look. I'll write down ideas for locations because I have some places I go to pretty regularly. So I'll have to go here. So
That's awesome. How much do you visualize your shot before you do it? Like how far along do you kind of like picture the process? Because I know a lot of toy photographers, they can be very explicit in how they design the shot in their mind before they go out and try to attain that shot. Do you kind of have like a general idea, or is it very specific on what you want to do?
It can be generalized, but it's specific with the actual figures I'm going to use. I also how I want it to set up. But again, when you're out in nature, it's like you can't just haul your diorama up the hill. So it's like you have to use what you got out there and build it into pieces, and then you kind of just go with the environment and hope that the lighting is right, like the trees don't shift. I've had to sit in a place for 20 minutes trying to wait for the trees to move again so the sun comes back through for like a certain beam of light I needed. So it can be kind of hard, but at the same time, I know what figures I want. I know where I want to put them, how far apart. And then just trying to get out there and make sure that the ground is going to work too. So it could be pretty generic, but at least specific with the tools I use.
That's awesome. That's really cool. How have you noticed your photos going from a camera? You started out with your iPhone and now you're doing your DSLR. How do you feel like you've kind of progressed in your visualization with that? Like, has it like kind of opened you up to your creativity at all?
Yeah, I mean, the camera nowadays. Camera phones are pretty awesome, anyways. But like with my camera, there's so much more that you can do with it, and I've been learning a lot, trying to really know the terminology for it. I mean, I didn't know what an f-stop was. I knew that there was an F in front of it, but it was just like, oh, I know that I need to hit it at this number, and it looks awesome. So it was just trying to go from there and actually understanding it too. But there's so much you can do with the camera and make things with the same setups. Just like I think it was last year, I figured out how to catch water when you just throw it around. Since I, again, don't know much about editing, I utilize the water bottles and just spray bottles and throwing dirt and doing all that stuff. So being able to capture that and get that emotion with the figures has been really cool. And you can do that with the camera, which I don't know if you can with an iPhone.
Yeah, I think it'd be kind of hard unless you did it like a video format when they have the slow-mo or something like that. But yeah. So do you have any tips for people just starting out doing toy photography? Hopefully there's someone out there that's listening to this and they're like, I want to try that.
Yeah, I mean, it depends. If you have a camera, and like this is what I did when I first got mine, take it out. Like you trying to read that manual is just ridiculous. It'll make your brain hurt. I mean, I'm just a normal person. I can't read one of those things and understand it, or look at 80 YouTube videos. Go out, take a picture. I have to say, take a can of soup or something out with you and just take it at all different angles, run through the camera settings, see what feels right, and then go from there. And also make sure that your first few pictures you take is a toy or character that you really connect with, somebody that's been there. I mean, I've been watching, I was a 90s kid, so got cartoons for days. A lot of the stuff is just nostalgic. So make sure it's something that you're going to really connect with, because that first photo is going to be important.
That's awesome. Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree. I think if I were to shoot like just 3 characters, it'd probably be Batman, Spike Spiegel, and like probably Luke Skywalker. What would be your 3 if you could just shoot 3 characters?
Oh, that's a tough question. I'm trying to think here. Oh gosh, I'm trying to think of 3 figures that I really, really enjoy, but characters-wise?
Yeah, characters. Because you can use different figures, because like Batman's got so many different figures.
Yeah. Characters wise, just for outside. Actually, this is a newer one too, because I'm going to get this figure. The Witcher, I think, like solidifies like as a character everything I ever wanted to shoot for toy photography. He's super cool. As far as like anime characters, Bakugo from My Hero. I haven't changed my top 5 like anime characters in a long time, and he shot to number 1. He's amazing and colorful and just like has so much going on for that. And then just classic, you could shoot I could shoot an Ewok or a Jawa all day long. Just like I love
Nice.
the Star Wars like monsters and stuff of that kind of characters.
That is awesome. Yeah, I feel like when it comes to like aliens and stuff, like there's a lot more like room to explore versus like heroes.
Yeah.
But which Witcher character are you talking about? Are you talking about the figure? Are you talking about Hot Toys? Are they doing one?
I don't think Hot Toys is doing one. It's like a generic one. I don't even think it's called The Witcher. I think Tom has it. You can see some on his feed. But they have a Nendoroid for him too. So, and I just watched the show on Netflix, and it's hilarious. And I never played the games or the books, but it makes me want to. So,
Is that show any good? Should I watch it?
It's really good. But did you watch Game of Thrones?
I have not seen Game of Thrones.
Are you kind of like a fantasy kind of person though?
I do love Lord of the Rings. I mean,
Okay.
I love that kind of stuff.
Did you ever watch the Hercules or Xena series?
I did. Yes.
Yeah, it's that kind of humor. So
Okay.
you have to understand, but they have the cussing and stuff too element. So it's actually
Gotcha.
I enjoyed it thoroughly. I'm gonna rewatch it. So
My mom was actually a massive Xena fan and a massive Hercules fan. Her like favorite actor is Kevin Sorbo.
yeah.
But yeah, I definitely would probably dig on that. Then I need to check that out.
Yeah, I mean, Sam Raimi is like one of the best directors of all time, and he's the one who did those shows. And this reminds me of his stuff, where it's like fun, and it's just like in depth. And Henry Cavill is amazing. So
I didn't know Sam Raimi did that. What?
for Hercules and Xena, yeah.
I didn't even know. See, that was before I started researching stuff like that. Interesting.
Yeah.
So what is your favorite show?
Oh my gosh,
Putting you on the spot.
I know this is like I'm trying to think right now. I mean, I watched all of Game of Thrones, and I'm trying to think if I have liked something good enough. Oh, The Boys came out. That one is probably coming from a comic book fan. I was very surprised. So
That was the one on the Amazon, right?
yeah, it was amazing.
Okay. I haven't seen that.
I was on the edge of my seat the entire time. I did not let my boyfriend talk during it, and I usually am okay.
Wow. What is the premise for that show?
It's about it's like real life superheroes, which you would think they would actually do. That they're not all like great guys. They actually have real flaws and drug deals and all this stuff. But there's a bunch of normal people trying to take them down a peg and show the world that they're not perfect. And Carl Urban's in it. He's really good.
I love Carl Urban.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, this is the time of the episode when we can just give a shout out to our followers and everybody that's listened to us and people that engage with us on a daily basis. Tell everybody what you think.
I guess I already mentioned a whole bunch of people. I kind of feel bad now. I think I was shouting out the entire episode. So I talked about Bets and all those other people, but really, I mean, just go out there and look around and discover some new pages. I think that's the best thing that I can give out to anybody and shout out about is I love to go and see where Instagram's trying to take me just on common interests. There's so many people out there. Just go and explore.
Awesome. Well, Steph, thank you so much for being on this and let everybody know how they can connect with you on social media.
So I am just on Instagram at stalagmitethrilla, and that is a long and a mouthful, so you're going to have to look up the spelling on your website there for the Instagram page. But just shoot me a DM if you have any questions or anything like that, even on collecting stuff. I've been collecting forever, so if you have a question on a First Four Figures statue or an Nendoroid, let me know.
Awesome. And we'll have that link in the show notes, everybody, so if you want to find out where she is. And you can find me at Dagobah_days. You can find our feature pages, Mezco for 1.12.collective, Star Wars for Star Wars Toy Picks, and the ToyPhotoCast on Instagram at ToyPhotoCast. And remember, everybody, we are storytellers. So get out there, tell your story, and be like Steph. Have some fun, shoot some toys, and just enjoy this thing. Peace.
Got to give a shout out to my hardcore listeners on the Patreon, Scott Blind, Jordan Dodrell, and Stephanie Bear. Thank you so much for always supporting and being an incredible asset to the Toy Photocast team.